Bonjour, I'm Martine and welcome to Petite World Citizen. I'm so excited to be finally starting our Thrive book club with you today. We've been reading Thrive, Finding Happiness the Blue Zone's Way by Dan Buettner. There are so many lessons in the book that we could go on for months talking about the great lessons that we've learned from this book, but we are only going to do it over a shorter period of time. The way this will work is that I will do 2 series of posts and 2 videos talking about some of the lessons that resonated with me the most. And I welcome you to comment, ask questions. You can write about other lessons that resonated with you that I may not mention. Please feel free to make this as interactive as possible. I'd love to have you over so we could discuss this in person, but that's not possible. So instead, please make this interactive and please send me your comments. I'd like to start this off with why I named this post today, Home is Where the Art Is. I'm using home because in the book, Dan talks about home as a place that can be kind of engineered or created to help us thrive and be happier. And so I think home is a very important place. It's a place where we gain our nourishment, and it may be a haven or a sense of refuge and strength. So I think home is a really important concept and place. And so I've tried to create a very healthy, happy home environment for myself and my family in my home. But reading this was very enlightening in a sense because I've never really thought of my home being set up as a place to help me thrive. And so Dan provides several tips in the book for things that we can do to kind of create a space to help nudge us into behaviors that help us to thrive. And I'll mention that all of them written down in the post. The other thing that I wanted to talk about is art and living as a fine art. And that's why I said home is where the art is. If we look at art in a very broad sense of the word, the fine art of living, and how do we do that very well? I think the meaning changes for different people, and it means different things at different times of our life. But I think we have to be cognizant of that and try to be mindful of what that means and how we can actually enhance our living space and enhance our lives from the place where we spend a lot of time, for most of us, home. So this is why I wanted to focus on home and the fine art of living in this post. One of the areas that he focuses on is Denmark, and he calls the people of Denmark, the Danes, the world's happiness all-stars. So a lot of the tips that I learned from the Danes there are some things that I really would like to incorporate in my own life. And there's one quote from a woman that he interviewed in Denmark, and she talks about the importance of slowing down. Now, those of you who know me well know that it's very difficult for me to slow down. I am always multitasking. I've got lots of projects that I'm always working on, and it's always go, go, go. Now, having a son and a family, my husband and having my son, though they have helped me to slow down because I want to spend quality time with them and really appreciate the moments that we spend. So that has helped me slow down a bit, but I still am working at it. I need to find ways to create that space of calm so I'm not rushing from one activity to the next. And in the book, on page 52 it starts, this woman says, "I wake up in the morning and I see that flower with the dew on its petals and at the way it's folding out, and it makes me happy. It's important to focus on the things in the here and now. In a month, that flower will be shriveled and you will miss its beauty if you don't make the effort to do it now. Your life eventually is the same way." And she is so right. I mean, our life is made up of moments, days, hours, minutes, and seconds. And it behooves us to take the time to slow down and appreciate every skinny second we have, because every moment is a gift. And this is something that was great to read so that I could be reminded that it's so important to slow down, not only to enhance my own life, but to enhance the well-being of people around me. So it's not fun to be around somebody who's always rushing to the next activity or is thinking about what they have to do next. So this was like a wake-up call again for me to slow down and appreciate the finer things in life, if you wish. So I really like that reminder. The other thing that the Danes have is this concept called hygge. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right, but it's this feeling of warm, cozy atmosphere. So if you think of like something that makes you feel warm in your heart, or if you go into a room and there's the fire burning, or you see candles burning, and it smells nice, and you have this warm, cozy feeling with friends and family, that's the sense of hygge. And they try to create that in their living space. And so this was another reminder that it's important to try to create those moments of calm, of cozy tranquility. Whether you're with people, your friends and family, or if you're alone, it's important to create that so you feel good and you can feel uplifted and happy about it. So that was a nice concept that I thought that I should try to be a little bit more mindful to create that space always. It doesn't have to be just for the holidays or when I'm having people over, but to make home like that. And I do like to burn candles in my home and make it smell nice, but really there may be other ways that I haven't really explored to create that sense of warm, cozy feeling at home. Again, home is where the art is, and this is why I wanted to focus on home, because it's such an important place that we can draw strength and inspiration from, and moving on forward to if we have to go to school or work, it's so nice if we can think of home as a place to help kind of re-energize us and a sense that we can be rejuvenated. So that's one thing that was mentioned in a lesson from the Danes. But Dan also talks about the importance of setting up what he calls Thrive Centers. And they're domains in our life where they can help us to kind of promote thriving in our lives. And he says, the best way to promote thriving is to set up nudges favoring long-term happiness in all 6 domains of our lives. And I mentioned those domains in the post, but I'll mention them here again. The domains he mentions are community, workspace, social life, financial life, home, and self. Now, in regards to home, he says, if you think of your home, whether you live in a house, an apartment, or a condominium, or the yard and grounds around your living space, is your home set up to nudge you into behaviors that favor happiness and away from behaviors that generate discontentment? So this is an interesting concept to me, because I think of home as a happy place, but am I really incorporating these little small nudges around my living space to help promote happiness? And so on the post, I'll go into some of the tips that he provides on how we can create that space to make it a little bit easier to promote happiness. And you may think of some other nudges that you may want to change and incorporate in your life, and if so, do so, because everything will not apply to everyone, and you may have new ideas, and feel free to explore that. So the other thing that I wanted to mention is the importance of volunteering. I've always volunteered a lot during my adult life, but now, actually, after reading this book, I've been thinking of volunteer activities that I could do with my son, who's now 19 months old. And I really would like for him to start at an early age to understand the joy and importance of volunteering in your local community or abroad. So this is something that I know that I want to make a change in my own life and to help enhance our own well-being and happiness at home. So I would love to know what you think about all of this. What do you think about the concept of home and the fine art of living, and how you want to incorporate new changes in your home, or if you've already done that? And if there were other lessons in the book that resonated with you, please feel free to comment in the section below, and we'll try to have a dialogue as a Petite World citizen community. So thank you for joining me. Our next post will be about hardwiring happiness. That will be part 2 of the Thrive Book Club. Thank you, and I'll see you next time. Bye.